Welcome to How to Become a Production SQL Database Administrator. My name is Raphael. In this video, we're going to answer the question, what is T-SQL? So let's begin. T-SQL, or Transact SQL, is Microsoft's proprietary version of ANSI. And as you can see, it stands for American National Standards Institute. SQL stands for Structured Query Language, and it's the most widely used relational database query language. It is not only used by SQL Server, but it's also used by Oracle, Microsoft Access, and MySQL, although they do use a slightly different flavor. TSQL is critical to SQL Server because each time SQL Server database action is executed, SQL sends the database a series of SQL statements, and it's important to understand these statements. These actions are first translated into TSQL statements, even when you're using actually a GUI, which is a graphical user interface. TSQL can be run in the main tool, and the main tool we'll be using is the SSMS, which stands for SQL Server Management Studio. It can also be run in the SQL command line utility. TSQL can be divided primarily into two categories. One is the DML, the data manipulation language, and DDL, which is data definition language. As you can see at the below, I've given you a couple of examples of what DML are and DDL are. But more specifically, let's get into the next slide and see examples. So now I'm going to go over here and connect to the Word document. In this, you can see the table of contents for this course 1 of 5, an introduction to Transact SQL. If you want to become a SQL database administrator, then it's critical that you learn transactional SQL. And these commands in this course will illustrate and demonstrate for you how to do that. We will begin by introduction to becoming a production SQL database and what are the requisites. We'll talk about the introduction a little more to Transact SQL. We're going to then install SQL Express 2012, and then we're going to attach the database called AdventureWorks 2012. And then we're going to get into the actual T-SQL commands, such as select, where, with like, order by, and so on, followed by punctuated quizzes. So you've got quiz 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it's critical that once you've learned a portion of the SQL commands, that you reinforce that with quizzes. And so that will be beneficial to you also. So these are the things that we're going to be doing, and I'm going to be dedicating a video to each of these commands. So we've got a long series of videos to look at and execute. So I hope you'll join me in understanding this great course and great language, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. And I think I'll leave it there, and we'll continue on the next select statement or the introduction to becoming an SQL database administrator video. My name is Raphael, and this is how to become a production SQL database administrator.